Welcome back to another episode of the We Get to Do This podcast. In this episode, we had the honor of speaking with Carrie Tollefson.
For those of you who do not know, Carrie Tollefson is quite the Minnesota running legend and is also known very widely in the running community as a whole. She started her career with 13 state titles in Minnesota. That's insane. From there, she went on to Villanova, where she ran in the NCAA and was a champion 5 different times. Then, post-collegiately, she ran with Minnesota Distance Elite, which is also very cool and unique that she came back to Minnesota and ran with the community here, and was a competitor in the 2004 U.S. Olympics in Athens in the 1,500 meters. This episode was a blast. We also got to talk about what happened, later in her career as she got more into broadcasting, and now you'll hear her voice from things like the Chicago Marathon to Grandma's Marathon to track races, road races, all kinds of different things. And she's also a host of 2 different podcasts, one of which, Tolle Podcast, has been a YouTube channel and podcast for, I want to say she's at 15 years, if I remember correctly. It was such a blast. She also talks a lot about mooning people on her runs, and we went into naked miles, which that was very unique and not something I was expecting to talk about. So, yeah, enjoy that.
So if that doesn't inspire you to listen to this episode, I don't know what will. But thank you, Carrie, for being on, and we hope you all enjoy this episode. And if it's your first time with us, thank you for being here. And please give us a follow, a 5-star rating, and enjoy this episode. Thanks for being here. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the We Get to Do This podcast. Today, we have our super special guest, Olympian Carrie Tollefson here.
Woo!
Yay! Thanks for being here, Carrie.
Wild. Thank you for having me. This is so fun.
Yeah, we really appreciate you being on. And for our guests, we always like asking, who are you? What do you do? And why do you do it?
Ooh, it is a packed question. I'm Carrie Tollefson, as you said. I guess because I'm an Olympian, that's kind of like the what I do. But I am a mother, and I'm a wife, and I'm a sister, a daughter, a friend, like all of that. And I am a lover of running, like in all sports, to be honest. So that's who I am. What do I do? Well, I am not racing anymore as well. I'll jump in a race here or there. I haven't done one in a while, but I'm still very much in the health and wellness space. I am very much still in the running industry. I do a lot of commentary, a lot of speaking, emceeing. I host my own podcast. I actually have 2 podcasts now. And, still do a lot of coaching and just things like that. So I think my passion has always been to be a pretty focused, really driven athlete. And now I get to share that love on the airwaves and with other people.
Wait, you have 2 podcasts now?
I do.
What's the other one?
Yeah, so
RunDot.
RunDot is a podcast
I did know that.
Yeah, and so that one it's a little bit more like within their platform. But they're starting to push it out a little bit more now. And then Tolle Run is my longstanding YouTube channel, and then podcast.
Gotcha. How long has Tolle Run been going?
So we started it in 2016 after my little guy, my youngest, was born. And then, no. That's the podcast. We started the YouTube channel in 2010 after Ruby was born, my oldest. And then we did the YouTube for about 6 years, and then we switched over to podcasts. And now just this year, we put the podcast back on the YouTube channel. So we're using both of them again.
I did not realize it's been around since 2010.
I know.
And
That's incredible.
That's goals.
It's crazy. Like, I took my first break it was in January 2025. And we hadn't missed more than 5 Thursdays since we started in 2010.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
Really
crazy.
impressive.
But we're back on the train again, and we're going every week, and now we got 2 weeks. So it's wild.
Yeah.
But it's so fun.
All right. Now we have something to shoot for. We
Yeah.
just said 78.
Yay!
78.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We were pretty freaking hyped.
But any advice for two newbie podcasters? I was excited about 78, but that's nothing compared to
No,
you.
I think what I could tell you guys is don't be afraid if life gets busy to take a week off. Like there is nothing wrong with that. And your listeners will only appreciate the fact that you're real and say, life just was busy, or this week something fell through, or whatever. Like, I think I am such a perfectionist, and it's probably the runner in me, the athlete in me, but I was like, I got to put something out every week, like I would be a failure if I didn't, or it'd be kind of a letdown to the audience, and they could care less, really.
Right.
So just don't be so hard on yourselves.
It's great advice.
We're gonna screen record that part every time it's Sunday night at 8 p.m. and we're arguing about whether we should do a pod. That doesn't actually happen that often, I swear.
Or
But,
actually just remember that your conversation is very interesting as well. Like if you don't get a guest that week, just remember people always enjoy hearing from you too. So yeah. Anyway.
Well, and we're trying to figure this is why I love our format of podcasts, because I do have like some questions that I was like, we need to ask Carrie these things. And I'm already like, oh, now my brain's like detoured.
Yeah.
But with our podcast, we're like very much figuring out like the direction even of where we're going. And it's very, we're lucky in the sense that right now I kind of feel like the podcast is driving us. Like we're like saying yes to like guests coming on,
Cool.
like, and like, we'll like, a client asked us a question about nutrition this week. Let's just record a pod. Like we didn't really have a plan when we started it. We were just kind of like, let's just build consistency. Was there a moment? Well, I guess, was it like that when you first started like creating content? And then was there a moment when you, if ever, were like, we need to be more rigid and strict with it? Or have you like, what does that look like, I guess, for you?
To be honest, no, like I did not start a podcast, and I'm sure like you guys, like this is not the moneymaker for me and my family. Like this is, it is great when I have a sponsor that's like, Carrie, we want to, sponsor a few episodes, or like now RunDot has supported the show. They've brought on a producer for me and an editor, which is really super nice because for years, anyone who listened to my podcast for years knows that Tim Bornholt was doing all my editing. And then also, we had other people that were helping the show for a while, Julie Magnuson, and it was really nice, but we didn't really ever go down that road of having a strict schedule, or even, not to say a series isn't really fun. That can actually be really fun for the audience, but also really nice on the podcast host. But I have never really been one to say, I need to do this with my podcast. I really started the pod and the YouTube channel to show the love of the sport that has given me so much, and I wanted to give back. And so now, even with my subjects or my interviews, it's more about why they love what they do, or maybe they set an American record, or maybe they went and won a world championship medal. But it's not really all about that. It's more about why they love this sport, how they get after it in life. And so I maybe am not the best one to ask. If you're asking me how to make a successful podcast, monetarily wise, don't ask me. But if you want to ask me about meeting some really cool people in this space and hearing people dream big and hearing the ups and downs of life, I got you there, because that's what my conversations have always been and why I started this podcast. Really, I want to know what makes people tick in life. And it's been super fun.
Do you ever have Charlie on?
I had him on the YouTube channel quite a bit. Charlie's my husband. I was
just telling Jake about how I heard your love story at Stride the Sheet, and it was like, this is the content that people want.
We need that. Actually, I've been dragging my feet on it. I had my mom and dad as the first podcast back after my break, and it was so fun, you guys. Like, I will have that conversation for the rest of my life, no matter if I end up leaving this earth first or if they do. But that was for me. I don't care who listened to it. It was like such a fun conversation. And then I thought, well, I'll have Charlie on, and then I'll have my sisters on. And then we got back into highlighting the stories of the running world, right? So I will get him on. And I do love our love story. Yeah. He tells it a lot different than I do.
Yeah, Jacob does too with ours. So
Love stories are the best.
Mine has a lot of detail. It's super enriching, like super long, super in depth.
Oh,
It's very true. Everything that I say is a very factual side.
I love being in the middle right here between you two.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I was thinking about this and I was like, okay, I'm having Carrie Tollefson on our podcast, which is very much a pinch me moment.
Oh.
Because for a lot of different reasons. And I was like, if I could only ask her like a few things, because what you were saying about like part of the reason we started this podcast was actually like 100% of the reason we started this podcast was selfish. We get to talk to really cool people and just like ask questions and then learn, And so I was like, okay, my list grew to like 30 things. And normally we don't even write a list down, actually. But for you, I was like, we need to write some things down. But I have one that I'm very curious about. You are an outlier and you have talked to a lot of outliers. You have been around a lot of outliers, very successful people. I am very curious, in your opinion, is there a secret that you have found or seen amongst you and everyone that you've ever talked to through your pod, whatever, and all that you do?
Yeah.
To be an outlier, successful, etc., elite in whatever it is that they do.
I mean, I have a lot of secrets. Like, most of us do not eat very well. I hate to say it.
I got it. I'm doing that already.
Yep. I don't know if you guys, I mean, you're around elite athletes all the time. You guys are great athletes yourselves. Like, I mean, I think you would be surprised to know, like, that we actually eat pretty dang normal and maybe even a little unhealthy all the time. So, but that's one secret. We can go, that's a whole nother podcast, right? But no, I think the big thing for me actually is really interesting. I just interviewed Roisin Willis, who just set the American record indoors for the 800. She's only 21 years old. She's still at Stanford, actually just went pro, but still finishing up her college career and, or college degree. And she just kept reminding me, it's just a race. And it's just, we're out here to have fun. We're trying to get the best out of ourselves. And I think that is really the underlying like reason why we do what we do. I mean, yes, it is. We are different. Maybe we have better genetics than the person next to us. Maybe we have something crazy in our mind, like that climber that, is crazy and can jump or can climb everything without any harnesses. There's something different about us that's willing to seek pain in a weird way, right? Like by running circles on the track or running down the road. Like most people don't do that unless they're chased. But I do think every single person that I've talked to, whether they're an athlete or a CEO or whatever they are, they try to find what makes them excited about being good at something. And that has to come with fun. If you don't have fun doing your job, your sport, your, playing your instrument, being on stage, whatever it is, it's not going to work. So I really think, and that is kind of like an easy maybe answer or a fluffy answer, but I really truly believe it. Whenever I speak, and it could be to elementary kids or it could be, in front of some kind of higher up at a big corporation, if you don't find what makes you tick in life, if you don't find that fire, that drive, like we're not going to be who we're meant to be. And so I just feel like that's been the underlying like message from everyone is that they're just trying to have fun. And like I said, it's just a race. Like if you put too much on it, then it gets too big, it gets too heavy. And so if we can keep it light and keep it fun, you'll succeed. And I know that success is not always defined the same way too. And, there are some athletes that are just not as gifted as others. And we know that. Like, I love to play basketball, but my center she was 6'2", 6'3". Her son is now going for the rookie of the year in the NBA. Like, she clearly was a better basketball player than me. But I had the same passion. I didn't have the same genetics. And so there are those reality checks. But when you find what you're good at, what makes you excited about living life and working hard, go for it.
How did you find that with running? Like, when did you have that moment where you were like, wow, like this is my passion and like I am super excited about this? And like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was, distance running. It's not like something that you love the second you're doing it. And especially, I think once you learn the background of what you actually have to do to improve, it's a hard sport. It's not really one where, I love it because I'm good at it, right? But I think if it's hard for someone, it's not always the sport they're going to choose. They would maybe do something different. And so I think for me, it came pretty early on. Success showed up pretty early on, but I loved it because my family was in the sport. My dad was a college football player. My mom actually was not allowed to play sports. She was in that era before Title IX and all of that. But then my sisters came around and they were very much into sports and music and other things too. But we just did it as a family. And I think I learned early on that if I could beat my big sisters at it, then I might be pretty good at this thing. And so it just sort of snowballed from there.
And I think running specifically is very unique in the sense that it's so individualized too, and you can compare yourself to yourself. You can get into like other groups. I mean, Kaylee and I are in a bunch of different running groups, and we can get competitive with other people. But at the end of the day, like I think one thing that's really cool from a recreational standpoint too is like we're just always trying to better ourselves out there, right? And then I think that translates a lot to like entrepreneurship or any life endeavor, right? And I think
for sure.
But that can also be hard too, like in today's age, with like Strava and social media and all. Strava, funny, because I'm wearing a hat that says Strava on it.
Big Strava fan.
Yeah.
Funny. But with like getting into like the unhealthy comparison too, and like forgetting what we are really doing it for, and then kind of full circle to that first outlier question, even like losing the joy from it too.
Yeah.
So.
And there are ups and downs, and I'm gonna tell you, like, there are times where it is a chore to get out the door, or it hasn't been a good season, or I've had major injuries or illness or whatever. But at the end of the day, or, at that end of that journey of maybe when it wasn't going the way I wanted it to, I always felt like I came back faster or stronger or more mentally tough. Like there was always like, I got this thing called life. Like it might not be that it is about a race anymore, but I do use all those things I learned as an athlete. And I continually use that, whether it's in my relationship with my husband or my being a mom or, whatever. I just feel like this sport has given me so many ups and downs and all arounds, to be honest. And I feel like I can tackle anything. And my body is sort of, it's getting older. I'm just going to say I'm maturing. And I understand that I'm not going to be that athlete that I once was, but you said it. Like, if you can challenge yourself, that is a win right there. And I love the treadmill for that reason. It just came to mind when you were commenting on that. You can go and it'll be a whole string of athletes, and each and every one of us has our own pace, and we can all do the same workout and get the same out of it for our bodies. But we might have one that can go faster, one that doesn't go as fast, or we might have one that can run uphill better than one can run uphill. Like there's just so much about all of us individually, and we have to look for the good in our own selves and not always say, oh, this person's better, this person's better. We're pretty awesome individuals. And I think that once we figure that out and learn how to toot our own horn, that's a pretty powerful thing that you can have in your tool belt. So I'm a big fan of tooting your own horn, but not necessarily maybe doing it for the whole world to see. It could just be one-on-one in the mirror and telling yourself that you got this, you can do it.
Yeah, not with Strava.
Yeah. I like Strava too, because it is my memory now. I have no idea. Like I can't remember what I just did 2 seconds ago. So you can wear your Strava hat. It's okay.
Okay, if you insist. Okay.
Kudos are
you
forever.
got a funny husband there.
I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah.
In my defense, I've gotten a lot of hate for Strava low key when I first got into the industry that I'm in with personal training and run coaching and whatnot. And I I always viewed it as a marketing tool to cover up my addiction to maybe what Strava actually is, right? But I truly, I feel like when I was at Performance Running Gym, when I started there, every time I met someone, I was like, I'm going to connect with you by Strava because that's how I'm going to build community and that's how I'm going to remember your name because there's so many people coming through those doors.
Right.
So,
but
there's
how do you look at everybody's Strava? Like, I feel so bad.
I don't.
Anybody listening to this
now
podcast, I am so sorry. I think I have probably done like 20 likes in my entire time of being on Strava. Because, like, if I forget one person and not like their workout for that day, it hurts my heart. So I just don't like anybody's.
Yeah.
That's not nice of me.
No,
I've been called out for it before, and I'm like, I promise when I do go on, I spend like, a minute and I go through the top like 10 people that I see, like, but I'm like, and I'm done. It's not like, you're like being like, I'm gonna like this, but I'm not gonna like that.
But then has anyone ever said like, dude, did you see how fast I ran today?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to get called out. So I just like, I'm sorry.
Right.
I love all of you. And I don't even really know how to use it, to be honest. It's just my training log.
No one does. Honestly.
Oh, buddy.
It's supposed like it was a journal at one point, but now like I don't even know what I use it for anymore.
I know.
I don't know. How has the running world changed for you since you first started running versus now? We actually asked Dakota that question as well when she was on the podcast. And am I ignorant or has it actually boomed a lot in the past like 5 years? Or is it just that I got like more involved in it and now I think it's booming because I'm more involved in it?
I think it's booming. I think you see, all of the races seem like they're selling out, the big ones at least. People are into it a little bit more. There's so many different ways now too to use running. So, I mean, even like High Rocks, like that's blowing up so fast. And, the main bulk of it is the run. So it's kind of cool to see the running community sort of evolve in a different way, kind of going down different lanes, if you will. But there are so many different sides of the sport that I get to see, which is really cool. Like the elite side, for instance, like it doesn't seem like it's changed that much, but yet it's changed totally. Like there's so much going on there that's behind the scenes. And even, with technology, with drug testing, with contracts, like all of that stuff, being able to have more than one sponsor. Like when I was competing, we were only allowed to have a shoe company. We couldn't have other things on our jerseys or on our shirts or, even promote other things. So like just little things like that make this career even more, I guess, exciting for an athlete to try to continue to be a professional athlete than when I was racing. But I want to say a lot of it has stayed the same. I mean, people are out there we're nerdy runners. I mean, really, I'm sorry. And I am one of you. I am right there with you. We're dorks all the way. And that hasn't changed at all. Like, we love everybody. We love everyone that wants to go for a run. Our stories never change. And it just seems like the real reason people run has always been that same thing. It's just to get out there, find community, and have fun doing it. So, but yeah, we could get into technology. I mean, I was on the slow end because I didn't have any. It was like a big thing to run in the smallest flat you could possibly find. And now you look at the shoes and they're just huge. The stack is all they talk about, right? So, I mean, so much has changed that way. The times are just like, even Charlie will say to me, Carrie, do you think you would have still been as good as you were in the times now? And I'm like, dude, heck yeah. Like, you can't say I was like, he's trying to say, there's better people maybe out there now. I'm like, no, we would have still been good. At least I'm going to tell myself that.
Do you think, I've always been curious, like with like the times like being so fast right now, like obviously
so fast.
We're in our extremely fast too, but it's like, I know it's not just like a one answer, but it's like, yes, we have the technology, obviously, which is changing things. But like, do you think it's because like, so someone breaks 4 in the mile, so now it's like, it becomes possible? Or like, do you think like once somebody like breaks 2 in the marathon, then all of a sudden it's going to be like all these people like following suit? Because it's like, it's become mentally possible.
Yes.
Like that unlock.
Most definitely everything has been unlocked. I think that's just part of evolution again. Like you just have, if you have somebody that dreams big and they get it, then other people are like, why not me? And so I definitely think that that's something that has come into play, and it's across the board. You can see that in all of the, if you just want to stick with track and field and racing on the roads, running, like every single event has grown and gotten better, gotten faster. People are throwing farther, jumping higher. Obviously, there are those people that are kind of one-offs, like a Paula Radcliffe, for instance. I mean, when she was running so fast, faster than most of the American men, right? I remember when she raced, we were looking at the top Americans and Paula. Like basically they were about the same. She's a one-off. She's a kind of like a legend in her own right. So there were people like that, but now you have bigger groups that are starting to believe. They've got people like you that are treating them differently. We have, just everything has come around for us. And yet at the same time, I still think a lot of the elites eat junk food.
Yeah.
And are still goobers.
And are still big old dorks. We're big old dorks.
That's not the word you use. That's what we used to call each other in cross country. We just say we're a bunch of goobs.
I mean, we are the nicest group of goobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Nicest, weirdest goobs.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
why do we do what we do?
Like, I used to moon people on runs all the time back in the day because we had nothing else.
Why is nudity a thing in running?
I never did a naked mile, though. Have you guys done naked miles?
I haven't.
Not done a naked mile.
Me neither.
Actually, I've done a naked, quarter mile.
Yeah, I've done a naked
That was drinking
run.
related. That wasn't technically running related.
You
that
guys
was
really have run naked in front of the opposite?
That was a huge thing at Gustavus. You need to ask the other Gusties who are on the cross country team.
I have heard that.
It's like a big thing.
Oh my God.
It was actually funny at Stride to She, because we were staying at Merritt's cabin,
Yeah.
and people were like, I didn't talked about this stuff in a long time, and one night everyone was just talking about how we'd run through the calf naked, and
what?
That's wild.
They put us that.
That
Yeah, it was
wild.
grand finals week. It was a thing.
That's crazy.
And
Do
then
you
you'd,
think they still do that?
No, they put a stop to it, but we would we'd play Strippy Cup. It was, I don't know, it's a thing.
Dr. Kaylee Carlson.
I know.
This is for record, guys. This is not me speaking professionally.
I think this is amazing news. And I also feel like, am I a runner that I'm not even a runner because I haven't done anything naked except moon. I have mooned people, but not run naked.
Funny,
Goodness me. I wanted to get my tattoo with this one with Dakota, and it took me until I was almost the age of 50 to do that. And I still have time. I'm not 50 yet. I still have time. Maybe there's a naked run that has to happen.
I mean, if you want to feel really free in life, a nighttime naked run.
Wow.
And now my arms kind of float, flap a little more in the wind. So I'll have more wings.
More resistance. Yeah, you'll feel lots more.
That's the only thing that flaps, though. Everything else is still as tight as can be, you guys. Oh my gosh, where are we going?
Episode 79. Carrie Tollefson moons people while running. All caps.
Yes.
There it is.
And loves her husband, Charlie.
I do.
Charlie.
I don't know if I've mooned Charlie on a run, though. I might have to do that one of these days. Make him run a little faster.
Wow, it's another thing you have time for.
Run a little faster.
You want to see this?
Yeah. Actually, he might, deliberately run slower then so he can see the cheeks.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
You'll be
Ruby cannot listen to
This is
this.
incredible. This is the content people need right here.
Oh man.
Okay, we gotta know your opinion on super shoes since we're.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
since
really
we're
had
asking
Bring it in.
Olympian.
Okay, we'll bring it back. I haven't really worn them, to be honest. I have done a few marathons, and there might have been one that I wore. I don't even know if they were. It's so long ago too, but they might have been one of the first pairs, and ended up throwing them away because my calves have never cramped, and they cramped, and I was mad at whatever shoe I was wearing. But I don't even know. They were an Adidas pair, which I love, the 3 stripes. They've been such a good support of my life, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think they've changed the sport. They really have. I mean, you can see it across the board that the people that really react to them really get a lot back from them. So I mean, I'd have to say, no matter if you're up front or in the middle of the pack or in the back of the pack, if you're trying to set a new PR, get yourself in some of those shoes because it's working.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably bringing a lot of people to you guys for some help too. They probably, I know that there's some injuries that come with it sometimes. I just know that. So, be careful
Wear
out
your
there.
super shoes, people.
Yeah.
And
Kaylee wants to see you.
I want to see you run fast all the time, chronic marathon train.
No.
Please.
I don't wear a lot of, I have one pair of Boston trainers that I think have a titanium rod, but I don't think they're classified as a super shoe. I think I have a couple pairs downstairs, but again, I haven't really seen the need for me to use them right now because I'm not really training for anything. Although I have said maybe I'd like to try to PR in the marathon before I turn 50. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm not against them. I just haven't really used them very much. Or at all, to
What
be
would
honest. I don't know if I have.
What would that PR be?
Sub 250.
I like it.
Off of 30 to 40
like
miles
it.
a week. I'm not willing to do 60 to 70 miles a week, peeps. I got stuff to do. I got kids to watch, play sports. So if you could give me one long run and maybe 3 to 5 mile runs, and if I could break 250 off of that, let's go. But if not, then that's okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think you have it in you. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. I haven't committed, people. Don't try to say I've committed to that.
She's committed.
No.
Add that to the title. Carrie's running a marathon in 2026.
No, I don't know if I can. First of all, when am I done talking so I can actually just race and not talk about the race all the time? So I have to actually find a race I can run.
It's true. With being a mom, we have a lot of mom listeners and women listeners out there. Like, how did running change for you, during pregnancy, postpartum? Like, what did that whole scenario look like? And even just being a mom now and fitting workouts in and raising kids.
Yeah, I mean, when Charlie and I decided to tried to have a baby right after 2009. I had a bunch of injuries. Actually, since the Olympics in 2004, those 5 years were kind of tough for me. I had some good moments, but I also had some really big surgeries and things like that. So I had a big injury in 2009. We came home, and 3 weeks later, we found out we were pregnant. So it happened really fast with Ruby. And through that first injury, I actually had every intention on coming back. So I really dove into doing a bunch of strength training with Bill Welly. Some people know Bill Welly. He's out at where the Vikings practice. What's that called again? I'm blanking on the name. Training house. Yeah. So I worked with him, and now he's there. But he trained me throughout my entire pregnancy with Ruby, and we really worked on some agility that I didn't have an opportunity to really focus on when I was competing. So I had a lot of fun training. And one thing a lot of people always ask about my mileage, each trimester, it felt like I dropped 30 miles or 20 miles, it might have been. But say I was an 80 mile per week runner going into the pregnancy. I think I dropped to 50 in the second trimester. So I was pretty lucky to be able to run quite a bit. And then I dropped down to about 20 in the final 2 to 3 months of that pregnancy. So I was able to run. I was pulling sleds. I was doing box jumps, all with a lot of people around me helping me out. And then coming back, I took a full 4 weeks off. My coach, Bill Welly at the time, said, "Get to know your baby," was the best advice. I'll never forget those words. Get to know your baby. Your body will remember, and you'll come back fine. And I did. I came back really fast, and had a blast being a mom and a competitive runner. However, the travel was not fun for me. So I think that's what, if I would have had races right here in Minnesota every week, I would have been racing all the time. But I hated leaving my family. And I think that was more why I decided to focus more on commentary and getting in the world of sport that way. But yeah, it was all of my pregnancies were about the same. I was able to train through most of them and had pretty easy pregnancies that way.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Mm-hmm. And now I guess I don't run that much. I run like 30 miles a week, and fitting in all the things and take a day off here or there. And, I do a lot of 3 to 5 mile runs, like I mentioned before.
What does like a typical day or week look like for you? Because it seems like you juggle a bazillion things.
I was going to say, I don't know if I have a week that looks the same. I do.
Right.
I do juggle a lot, and it's been kind of fun to be able to wear all these different hats. But then there's times where I am so exhausted, like not even just physically, but my brain hurts. I've said that a few times, where there are certain times throughout the year where it's like fall marathon season or it's spring marathon season. And then you start to tack in like some high school track meets and some college maybe, or some pro track meets. And then you got to jump to the roads, and there's so many names and athlete stats in my head where I get kind of like, I can't even think. And it probably is too the age that I'm at, where my mind is a little bit like, it's like scrambled eggs sometimes. But how do I handle it all, and how do I juggle it? I think I just kind of, it's funny, I make these lists for my day and I just check it off. And I'm trying really hard. My goal for this year is to really have the confidence that I know these athletes, that I've been following these athletes. And also my role as a broadcaster is to share the knowledge that I have as an athlete, not always so much about, oh, they've been training only on gravel roads, or, oh, they've been in altitude camp. Like, yeah, it's great to know that, but try to remember my role is to talk and speak as the athlete. So I'm trying not to go so far down the pigeonhole of researching every little tidbit of an athlete. That's really where you can kind of lose your way. So I don't know if I'm handling it all so well, but I try my best, and I enjoy getting to do what I love to do.
I like it. I can keep rattling questions off if you want.
Jacob has a lot of questions.
That's good.
I mean, like I said, but yeah, okay. Well, I'm also curious that, like whenever I've listened to you talk, I'm always like, man, she's so confident and like, it's eloquent.
Yeah,
Is that the right
I
word?
said
Eloquent?
elegantly
Great
the
word.
other day, and then I'm like, what should I said eloquently? And I guess you can use both. So go with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Elegant.
That's probably
eloquent.
the first time I ever even said that word.
Yeah.
So. But the way, like, you're confident and you talk well. Has that always been there? Did you have to practice that? Like, where did that confidence come from?
When I was in the 4th grade, I can remember I wore a Guess jean skirt. Guess is the brand. If you guys remember that, it's like a little triangle patch. And it was polka dot. And then I had a headband on that had a polka dot bow in it. And I went down to the capital, the state capital, and I spoke on how important arts are for schools as a 4th grader. And I had this big buck teeth way out to here. I was this skinny little girl with my polka dots on, and I was asking for us to be able to have music and art and other things in our school day, because we were starting to lose that. You know how nowadays, well, for instance, like my kids, they have 1 week of gym, 1 week of art, 1 week of science, or no, what is that? Yeah, it must be. I don't know what it is. There's 1 weeks, or they have 1 week of these special classes, right? And we were losing that way back then. And so I remember using my voice, and my mom and dad saying that's something that you can do, Carrie, is use your voice. And I am not one to like to fight politics in public, really. I'm learning to use my voice a little bit more because I'm fighting for my children now. But back then I fought for my school and my friends. And so I think that that's maybe where confidence comes from, Jacob. Like being able to stand on a stage, being able to speak when the red light goes on a camera, being able to answer questions after great races and really hard races. That's something that I think I've always sort of felt like was my duty and something that I could do. Some people get real nervous, and I don't get nervous with that. So I'm going to screw up all the time. When I really wanted to get into TV, like the newsroom, when I wanted to be a broadcaster that way, I was like, oh, anyone who hires me is going to have to deal with me making mistakes and me making up my own words and me crying to sad stories and me, like maybe favoring something. Like I am just, as you see it, I bleed and you see it, like I'm like diarrhea of the mouth. If you did already notice. So
I think that's why people love you. Like
I don't know.
Relatable in that way of like speaking your mind
Yeah.
and like being real.
Well,
like obviously you've had these amazing accomplishments that set you apart, but like people can feel like your heart,
Well,
and,
I
like,
hope
speaking
so.
from speaking your truth.
I hope they know my heart. And also, I just don't care. Like, really, I don't know. Life is too short to really worry about how many likes you get on social media. It's just not, it's not important at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, and so aside from like what like this is kind of a question about what other people think, but even just like your kids, for example, like what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind, or like do you think about like what do you want people to like when people hear Carrie Tollefson here down the road, like what do you want people to think of you?
I do want people to I do want people to think, I think first and foremost that I am kind and that I look out for people. I think that's really probably why I started that YouTube channel and the podcast channel. When you are someone like me who has confidence to speak and has a confidence to ask for things or to just kind of like take a leap, it's nice. But then you also know there are a lot of people that don't want to do that. And so I've always wanted people to come on my show, for instance, and share their story and all of it, all of the bits of it. And I've wanted people to feel comfortable with me doing that. So I guess like if I think of Ruby and Everett and Greer and they say, my mom was kind and she had fun with everybody. She talked all the time. We had to wait for her all the time, but she took time to speak to people. And I think one thing that I've done wrong in the last few years of being so busy is that I don't know if I truly stop and listen. Like, I hope I do, but I don't know if I really, sometimes I think of my little guy who's 10 and I'm like, did I hear his story or was I already thinking about work? And so I want them to know that I'm trying to listen to people and to hear their stories and to lift others up. So I think that's the legacy I'd like to leave. If they want to talk about my running, great. But more importantly, Carrie was kind and fast at one point in her career.
How can we talk less and listen more?
Yes. But I get paid to talk, Jacob. So it's hard not to talk a lot.
It's literally your career.
It is my career. And sometimes you just want to say, zip it, Care. Talking too much. Like maybe some of your listeners.
It's literally why we have you here. So
yeah,
to talk.
Funny.
As we go on, so we get married in May, and that was amazing.
Thank you, Carrie.
And as we get married, start a family, continue growing our businesses, continue growing this podcast, etc. It's a cliche question, but I need to ask it. What advice do you have for us if you could go back to being, we're 30. I'm 27.
Yeah.
But she's 30.
You know, I just told Charlie this the other day. Charlie has been my guy. Like, I loved him in high school. And Kaylee knows the story. I loved him. I thought he was so handsome and just He's a lot quieter than I am. He is like the complete opposite of me. I mean, he could talk to anybody, but he's not like blah like me. But when we found each other on the Stone Arch Bridge and he became part of my life, I realized not only was he passionate about his career as an architect and his art that he is so good at, but he also really believed in my passion for me. And we've gone through life like that. Like, he was that guy that said, if you want to have a kid, let's have a kid. And I will be the guy that says, go chase your dreams. I'll take care of this kid and be home with the baby. And then we had 3 and he's like, I still got you. Like, I'll get these kids to every single event. You go and spend 6 days at the Boston Marathon and be the first female to lead the press conference and go do that stuff. And I said to him the other day, I'm like, we cannot get divorced ever because I cannot do this life without you. Like, this is the age. I'm at this age where a lot of people get so pulled in different ways and life is heavy and it's stressful and kids are expensive and jobs are hard and, politics are hard I don't want to talk about it, but it's hard. Politics are hard. And there's just so much pulling at you that sometimes you forget about each other. And I think if you have enough confidence to know that there really is that basis of love, or what's my word? Like, the base is love, right? Like, the bottom base is all about loving each other. And I think when you find the right partner like that, you will get through that. Don't give up on it. And don't give up on your careers. You're going to go through ups and downs. I'm even there too now where I'm like, what do I do next? If I don't want to keep traveling at the rate I am, what's next for me? I've been doing this for so long. Like, it's kind of scary. But having a partner that says, take that leap. I got you. We'll figure it out. That's what's important. So you two are winning the game of life already just by finding each other. And I think by starting your own businesses the way you have, that's a really hard thing to do. And so it's kind of cool that you guys even haven't really sealed the deal yet. And you've helped navigate that part of life already.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really are. Remember that, because there will be hard moments. And, Charlie and I will be the first to say it, but I think when we look at all these other people on the outside and we see that they're in heartache or they're going through things, we always kind of remind each other, and we're not real sappy, but we always remind each other that we wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. Like, let's just fight through this. Let's not let it happen to us.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Talk about entering a flow state for 45 minutes.
Now you're like,
I don't want this to end.
oh, but you have to go.
I do have to go. But
how was your
first,
trip, by the way? Was it amazing?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was so beautiful down there. Yeah.
Oh, we got to go for a run. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah, the mountains it's incredible down there.
April 4th, Performance Running Gym.
Yeah, we're doing Dakota
Grandma's-
will be there.
Dakota's going to come. Grandma's Marathon.
Run.
Oh, will you remind me?
You should come.
I
Yeah.
think it's the start of spring break, and I think we're still home that day. So
That'd be awesome. Yeah, it's 2 weeks before Boston
Yeah, I'll
on
send
that
you.
Saturday.
okay,
We'll shoot you
Yeah.
a message.
Yeah.
great.
This is for listeners too. April 4th, PRG. But we always end our episodes with asking, what is your we get to do this moment? So that can be from today. It can be from your entire life, from this week. Like, what's a moment when you're like, wow, I get to do this?
Yeah, I've had a lot of those moments lately. We're in Minnesota. Not sure when this is going to go out, but this has been a hard time in Minnesota, no matter where you fall on, each side of politics, whether you're right down the middle or whatever. But I think all of us have seen humanity kind of be really tested, and in the worst way possible, to be honest, in my opinion. So I've had a lot of those moments lately where I'm able to go for runs outside. I'm able to take time away from my job to make sure that I get a run in. Like, seriously, I get to do that. And so I've had moments like that lately. But also, just to keep it a little lighter, like, there are moments where I'm interviewing someone and I'm like, oh my gosh, like halfway through their answer, and I'm supposed to be listening and doing like a follow-up. I'll be like, oh, I am standing next to Eliud Kipchoge or, whoever it is. And I just can't get over sometimes the life that I've been able to live. And it's been really, really fun. I'm super thankful for it. And I'm thankful for this Minnesota running community, to be honest. They have stuck with me since I was, this 12-year-old with big maul bangs from 1989, big buck teeth, and been clawing my way every single time I enter a race or enter a new endeavor in my life. And every time I go to the grocery store, every time I go to church, I cross the road to get my kids from school. Not a day goes by that somebody doesn't talk to me about running or my career or what I'm doing. And that is truly a gift. It is so nice to be from this state.
I love it. We get to do this.
Yeah.
We get to do this. And like I said, it's a pinch me moment for both of us. Because you're kind of like our Elliot.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you're so
words.
cute.
There you go, mess up.
Hey.
But I mean, for real, like this is a really cool moment, Carrie, for real. Like, or I won't speak for Kaylee, but for myself, as my backstory with running, I won't get into it, but in just coming up into the sport, the fact that I am talking to you even, it's wild.
Oh, you are
and
so kind.
People are gonna listen to this, like it's insane still that I'm doing what I'm doing. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for being on here and taking your time.
Well, thank you for dealing with me and not knowing what link.
It's a joy. We love dealing with you.
Yeah, you got to deal with this old lady over here.
No, we're very grateful. And so I know you. Can you plug your podcast one more time?
Yes.
And like YouTube and like ways people can follow you?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can go to Tolle Run for my podcasts and my old videos from back in the day. They're pretty fun, actually. Got some workout videos and some cooking videos and race highlight things. And then also we have the podcast there as well, Tolle Run. Or you can go to RunDot and check out some new episodes there, learn about that platform. They use AI training. So it's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm super, super thankful for that community there and for their support at Tolle Run. So that's where you can find me. Or you can always send me a message at Carrie Tollefson on Instagram or on Facebook. That is me behind all of it, and I will get back.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie, for being here and taking your time to talk to us. It's been such a joy. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thanks for being here, listening.
It went off the rails.
Wow, Kaylee, we made it through another episode. What do you think?
We would love if you would go give us a follow, a 5-star review, and comment on the episode and what you liked and what you'd like to see more of.
See you next time.
We get to do this.